Great morning, student. How are you today? Hope you had a very wonderful weekend. Today we'll be having a lesson on social studies and still on common social problems we have in our nation, that is Nigeria. So by the end of the lesson, expected to give the meaning of HIV and AIDS, outline some effects of HIV and AIDS, state some ways of preventing it, mention some mode of transmission, and then we look at the challenges of social issues and problems to individuals and family and the nation. For the HIV and AIDS, we said HIV means human immune deficiency virus and AIDS means acquired immune deficiency syndrome. AIDS is a disease that is caused by the virus called HIV. It damages the immune system of an organism. It is an epidemic that is rapidly killing people all over the world. And this implies that the virus is not inborn but acquired from a carrier. The virus weakens the immune system and leads to the series of diseases that can kill the carrier. And we say the AIDS is the deadly disease caused by the HIV. It is also called HIV because it thrives on human, and the terminal stage of HIV infection is called AIDS. It destroys the body's ability to fight off infection because the system is weakened. HIV and AIDS is one of the most dreaded contemporary society and social problems in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. So some of the causes or more of transmission of this HIV and AIDS include that you can get it through what sexual acts. So a person who is having sex with the affected person without having what protection can easily be infected. Another way is blood transfusion, which is a means where blood is transmitted from one person to into another person's vein. The next one is sharing of sharp objects. That is using like razor blade, clipper, injection or needle that are not sterilized with a carrier shared it between others. A person who is infected with HIV can transfer to another person using another person's sharp object. Okay, so it can also be from mother to child. A mother can transfer the HIV to a child during pregnancy, breastfeeding, and childbirth. What are the effects of this HIV? One is that it always results in series of illness. Have headache, have malaria, you have series of sicknesses that can make you not to understand your system, and it can lead to death as it is incurable. It just to the drugs that we believe that they are giving now is one that helps to boost immune, but it has been indicated that it's not curable for now. So it can lead to broken home, that is separation between husband and wife who have contacted the disease, and it can also lead to divorce to certain level if care is not taken. And it brings about reduction of human power in the society, and it can contribute to the increase of poverty in the society because the victims spend a lot of money on drugs. Victims of HIV suffer psychologically, and the carrier often suffer discrimination. If known by people, people may not like to be what associate with them so much. and the carrier can also lose his or her job as a result of avoiding him or her not to infect it to others. It can create emotional problems such as anxiety, fear, or sadness for the carrier and to the loved ones. How do we prevent this HIV? That is one of the things that we are going to look into again. Say people who are single should abstain from sexual intercourse, while married ones should be faithful to their spouse. Those who cannot abstain from indiscriminate sexual intercourse should use condom. Actually, condom is not 100% safe for this infection not to be to be contacted. So abstinence is the best option. Those who use sharp objects such as doctor, barbers and hairdressers should sterilize their instruments before using it on another person. And blood should be properly screened and made sure they are HIV free before transfusion. Let's look at the challenges associated with the contemporary society. Uh, we look at the individual first. For the individual, one is poverty. An individual who is infected with HIV and AIDS can end up in poverty as they will have to spend money on drugs. Cultism and examination malpractice can also lead to the poverty because they will no longer have good results for good job. Infection is another one. Individual can be infected with gonorrhea, syphilis, HIV, which can lead to death. Another challenge of this social issue is that it can make an individual irrelevant. To this family, it can cause what? Disobedience. The social problems can bring about disobedience in the family, where children can become disobedient to their parents, wife become disobedient to the husband become unfaithful to the wife, and the rest of the world. Another one is incest. There is an illegal sexual relationship which take place between members of the same family who are related by blood. It could happen between father and daughter or brother and sister. Another challenge is divorce, which is the legal dissolution of the marriage by court or other competent bodies like church. Lack of trust can come in, which is disunity in the family. Members of the same family will no longer trust one another. And these challenges to the society or nation can be as a result of political instability. It brings about political instability, which happens when there is no standard constitution or rules to guide political leaders, which leads to incompetency and development in the nation. Economic instability is another one. It occurs when there is mismanagement of the country's economy, which can lead to poverty in the country, like what we are experiencing now in our nation. The social instability is also a situation where there is what a general breakdown of law and order in the society, and is usually caused by inefficiency of the leaders. The social instability results to stealing, killing, violence, demonstration in the society. Let's look at the solution on how to curtail this issue in our society. One, civil society participation, which includes that non-governmental organization like those that are entrusted themselves with the responsibility of preaching against corruption and human rights abuse, church, mosque, pastors, imam of the different religions, organization should speak to the congregation on the need to be God-fearing, honoring of God, and imbibing good character. Then human rights lawyers should help to protest against the ill of the society by organizing public lectures and rallies to display against the social issues and problems in Nigeria, in our nation. Okay, the government policy should also be made available. Once we set a policy, it can help to do what? To keep away those attitudes of some persons. Like the example of government policy that can help to solve this is war against indiscipline. That this the policy was launched in 1985 by the Nigerian then Chief of Staff Supreme Headquarter Major General Babatunde Diabo, and the policy went a long way to comb indiscipline and socialized in the society, and it also helped to foster respect for the constituted authority. Setting up of Economic and Financial Crime Commission and Independent Corrupt Practice Commission and other related uh, this that was set up by Olusegun Obasanjo to fight against corruption and embezzling of funds was a good example of the government policy. So for your evaluation, let's look into this. So what do you understand by the following term HIV and AIDS? What is the terminal stage? The terminal stage of this HIV, what is it called? And you state three ways of preventing HIV and AIDS. Mention two modes of transmitting it. Please read more and have a pleasant day.